the middle of the preseason, I guess, you know, getting ready for the preseason. And something I wanted to bring attention to you guys, um, something I've noticed that we'll talk about here. It's um, it's involving mainly the atmosphere, attitude of this team, comparing it to something I've never seen before. Um, this is a something new to me. Kind of surprised me a little. Um, been watching the interviews and been, watching the different um, pundits talking about, who's going to be number one doing this, what's your expectations of this guy, that guy, and all this kind of stuff. Picking who's going to win, who's going to lose, all this kind of thing, which is needed. It's a good thing. It's fun, all that before the actual games really start, all that kind of thing. But during all the hype and all the, you know, I guess the expectations and all this kind of stuff, um, something I noticed during just about all of the press conferences that the teams had with Staley and so far up to now, um, that I've never seen before. Something I haven't never seen. It really caught my attention because I thought, wow, this is a little different. Um, and it starts with Tom Telesco, and something that I've noticed with Tom Telesco that I haven't never seen before, and it just really got my attention and made me feel more comfortable in how I feel about this team. Um, Something that maybe you may want to check out. I know I've looked and watched all the interviews that I could see, I could find, and it really made me feel different about this team. And what I'm getting at is, I don't think I've ever seen Tom Telesco so relaxed. I mean, he is so relaxed and confident and content. It shows. Never seen it before. I've never seen this Tom Telesco before. He's he's always been a very serious, very which he is anyway. But there hasn't been this side of Tom Telesco that I have seen since he's been a general manager, and so it's been kind of eye opening to me. If you see this, you'll may want to go back if you watch the video here. Go back and look at his press conferences, and then kind of go back to the team press conferences, and you'll see something that's totally different with this team. And I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not. I don't see any arrogance here. It's not that. It's an actual confidence. It's like it's like when you know what you've done is a good job, you can relax when you talk about it. You're confident in the outcome. You're confident in what you prepared to do before you did it. You're confident in how it turned out. That's what I'm talking about. This is something that I I find it kind of strange, kind of funny, um, that we've never seen this side of Tom Telesco before. I mean, it's glaring to me. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm seeing something that's not there. But according to what I have noticed, and it's kind of a big deal because it's infectious throughout the team. Something that's really been enjoyable if you're a fan, you know. Every team needs to be confident, and when they do their interviews and stuff, that needs to show confidence in what they're doing. But this is a little different. This is something that reminds me of teams that were dominant during their heyday. Um, Green Bay Packers at the very beginning of the Super Bowl era, and before that, but during that time, pretty obvious. They had a an awareness of what they were capable of. The Chargers haven't had that. Oh, they had, lofty goals. I'm not saying that. There's goals today. I'm talking about an attitude. I'm talking about a presence. I'm talking about a vibe, something that's infectious, and it's infected the whole team. You watch the videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really encouraging and fun to see this team actually be professionally, like, you know, I guess, lasered in. That's the only way I know how to put it. The pieces are there. They're confident with that. It reminds me of if you had a orchestra, you know, and and you had a person that got together all these fabulous, you know, instrument players, and you got them all together, and then you have the conductor, Staley, and he starts, you know, making them all harmonize together, fit all perfect, and make beautiful music. It's like that's what we're seeing. It's amazing because I was sitting, I was watching Telesco, one of his interviews, and he was so relaxed. I mean, just relaxed as eager to talk about the team, not and no arrogance. I'm not saying there was an arrogance there because there wasn't, and it wasn't a smug like we're better than you kind of thing. It was a knowledge of what I've got is what I wanted. Now it's in the hands of a capable maestro in Staley. And if you watch Staley, he kind of pushes that feeling too. It's a confidence of what you have to work with, and the result you're wanting. And it's really looking like everything is going the way they want. It just really looks that way. And when you watch the interviews, the different ones with Joey Bosa, even almost come right out and said it. Little different here this year, and the difference isn't a nervous difference. It's not a on edge difference. It's not a it's a it's a difference of just being solid in how you feel about your 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 teammates. It's really enjoyable to watch. Being a fan of years and years and years of the Chargers, um, this is something that I was trying to think back. Have I ever seen this? I did to a certain degree with Don Coryell and Dan Fouts and that era, but not totally because they knew that they weren't they didn't have the number one defense. They didn't have the number one special teams. They knew they had a fire plug as far as, their offense goes. It was great, fantastic. Defense wasn't bad. It was pretty good, but not like not like this. This reminds me, I guess, of the Buffalo Bills when they were going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. It reminds me of the Steelers in a way. The Steelers were um, a little bit different, but they had that a little bit more of a swagger because once they had went to the Super Bowl and everything, they kind of knew how bad they were, how tough they were. Um, that's a little different. But most of these teams, when they're expecting their teammate to do his job and not have to help him do his job, that's what I'm talking about. Joey Bosa had to help his other linemen do their job. I'm not saying he did their job. That's impossible. All I'm saying is he had to pick up his game so many notches that it wipes you out. And by the end of the year, you're spent. Physically, you're spent. Mentally, you're spent. You can see this is different. There's a difference here. And the difference to me is the Chargers have this confidence in the man next to them. Something they haven't had. I've never seen this before. And it goes from Telesco to Staley to the other coaches to the players, probably even the water boy. I mean, it's amazing to me this infectious confidence and attitude and dedication this team has that they I haven't seen before. And in my previous videos and stuff, I gave my comments on who I thought would what the Chargers record would be. I still feel that way, even more so now. Actually, I feel like this Chargers team, with the talent that they have and how it's molding together, it's fitting nicely. I mean, it's really looking good. Um, I just don't see them losing the game. I I've I've studied it, looked at it. I just don't see them losing the game. I really believe in this team. I believe it. First of all, I looked at the players they've got. I mean, Herbert, you know, Thor. What do? You got Thor. You got the dude. So, but they're adding pieces this year. They added pieces they sorely needed, really needed. This will all shake out in preseason on who's number one, number two, number three, and all this kind of stuff. But you can tell in Tom Telesco's interviews, not worried about it. You got the guys; they're there. And Staley feels like I got the guys; they're here. And the players are, man, we got the guys; we're here. And so you've got that feeling of I don't have to overplay my playing ability because this guy's he's good at what he does, extremely good at what he does. I don't have to worry about him. He's going to take care of his. I can worry about mine. I got to worry about what I do, and I can focus on me and getting better and doing my job. That's what I've seen with this team this year. Totally different. It's a team sport that if you get that kind of an attitude or you have that kind of a presence from top down, then you have an opportunity to really, really make a difference in the NFL. This could be, and it looks like to me it is, one of the best teams I've seen in years. Um, how long it'll last? Hey, injuries will probably tell us. I mean, I hate that, but hopefully we don't have terrible luck and injuries, just upset the apple cart and everything's upside down. Hopefully that doesn't happen. If we just have normal luck, just average luck, nothing spectacular, just kind of, let us get through without any debilitating injuries. Um, I'm thinking you're looking at a team that will not only be recognized as the best Charger team ever, ever, but one of the best teams the NFL has had. And what's really amazing to me is if you look at the the division they're in, yeah, it's loaded. All these teams are good, no doubt about it. Kansas City is Kansas City. Um, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders are a lot better this year, I think, than they were last year. There's some deficiencies with Kansas City and the Raiders, and then you got Denver. They've all three. They're all three at a certain level. And then I look at the Chargers, and they're like this level. And I'm just looking at everything that I can see, and I think, okay, Chargers don't have a new coach now. He's in his second year. He's learned a lot. He's got the players he needs. He already proved that he could do it with the offense last year, and what they did with the offense worked great. Now he's got his defense. His special teams unit is going to be really good. Maybe not the top, but they won't be the worst. They won't be at the bottom. If they're just middle of the road, that's that's all you're going to need. I think it'd be better than that personally. I think their special teams could be in the top 5, 10, somewhere in there. Um, just because of who they have. Uh, the talent that they've got though on the defensive side of the football, we know what they had on the offensive side, and they added some major pieces in the draft that they needed really bad. So what I see, and I've been seeing this since after the draft was over. Um, saw a little bit of it before the draft because of what they did in the uh, free agency signings. I was really happy with what the Chargers did, no doubt about it. But I started noticing a little difference with with Tom Telesco. It was more especially after the draft, and he got the players that he wanted to get, and whenever those players showed up, OTAs, Tom Telesco totally relaxed. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know what's made this transformation to me so obvious. I don't know what it is, except the players they've got, the coaching they have, the players they already had. Everything is melting together like it's going to be like glue. They are totally into this. They've bought in completely, and it looks like Telesco is just okay. There you go. I did my job. We are good to go. Now we just now it's Staley. There you are, bud. Have at it. And and when you watch Staley, he's excited. Staley's an excitable person anyway. I mean, you can see he's emotional on the sidelines. He doesn't mind, showing his enthusiasm, which is great. I love that. But you're gonna see now a team that is very, very um together. This whole team, if you look at the individuals, uh, they're very talented. If you look at the groupings in the defensive backs, the safeties, the linebackers, the linemen, if you start looking at those, there isn't a glaring weakness. There's no glaring weakness. No, I couldn't find one. Maybe there is one. We'll find it out maybe later, but I don't see it. I see a team that's so they are so dedicated, determined. They've got it together. They've got youth, they've got age, they've got experience that is really making this team look formidable. I mean, dominating in my opinion. That's what I think. And what I see is this team is going to go through the preseason to fine tune, but the attitude and the determination and the dedication from these guys are already there. It's already there. You see it. Um, it's an amazing thing. Uh, and maybe Herbert had a lot to do with this. I'm sure he did. Uh, he's kind of a quiet assassin type guy. I mean, I've seen him get excited and after a good play and you know run and jump into on top of the pile of guys all happy and all this kind of stuff. So he has emotion, but he's very focused, a very focused young man. And he seems very determined. And when you look at the coaches, how they've wanted to protect him, how they've wanted to give him more weapons, how the weapons they had they wanted to keep, it's looking pretty solid. Um, I just don't see a big glaring weakness. And this young kid Spiller, I mean, they've got him out of college. Uh, he could turn some heads. Be prepared. And another guy that at the very beginning, after I looked into him a little bit after the draft, I thought, "Oh, okay. I get it. I see why you guys got him. He's got a lot of talent." And that's Horvath. Xander Horvath is a lot more talented than I thought he was. All he's got to do is get on the field. He's got to slow down on the fumbling. But that can be taught. You can teach a guy how to hold on to the football. That's technique. It's practice. That's something he could probably, well, I know he could get to where he doesn't do. The thing that he's got, along with Spiller, um, and Zion, all these guys, is a talent you can't teach. The 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 physicality of what they do, what they're capable of doing. You can't teach that. That's something you're either born with or you're not. And and that's where you see Derwin James, you see Khalil Mack, Joseph Day, Johnson. You see um, J.C. Jackson. Um, I mean, it just keeps going. Tranquil, uh, Bosa. I mean, it just keeps just adding on, adding on. All these guys are extremely talented. They have what it takes with playing with each other as long as they don't have to play for the other person. If you're playing with them, that's one thing. If you're having to play for them, that's another. And last year, there was too much of playing for the other players. Well, we couldn't stop the run to the right, so Bosa has to try to get to that side if they run the ball there. I saw that a lot. Um, you're not going to see that this year. I'm not seeing it. These guys are so talented, and they're really that good. I mean, at the beginning, I thought, yeah, it sounds great, but boy, I want to see this. Maybe hopefully they'll all be okay when they play together. But it's coming together, and it's coming together scary, scary good. and and so when you see these guys and you hear them talking, it's like Khalil Mack. If I was a reporter, I don't think I would ask him about his motivation. I think that's enough. I think he's motivated. I think he's going to be just fine. I'd leave him alone, talk to him about something else, but leave his emotion and his enthusiasm, his dedication out of it. What do your expectations? I mean, he's going to show you. He's telling you. You'll see it. So, and I believe you will. I believe that when this team gets on the field against the Raiders on that first game, I think you're going to see a beginning of a mini dynasty. And the reason I say mini is they got about 3 years, 3 or 4 years tops, that this team is going to be this good because of not having to be out the money for Herbert. When Herbert's time comes, I'm sure things are going to change. But until then, they've got about 3 or 4 years here because maybe even that first year or two after him getting paid, they'll still be able to get some players to probably fill in, maybe even keep some players. Who knows what Herbert's going to agree to as far as his contract? I don't know. They could do all kinds of things with the contract. But after that, I think it's going to, settle to they'll be a good team, kind of like what the Chiefs have done, but they won't be able to keep the big expensive players. They'll have to end up letting them go somewhere else. But by that time, they'll already have won 2 or 3 Super Bowls. That's how I feel. I just don't. I don't see anybody stopping them. I can't. Uh, I've looked into it. I've studied it. I've looked at these other teams. The Buffalo Bills are very good. Very good. They're going to be the Chargers' biggest opponent, toughest opponent. The Buffalo Bills are very, very good, but they're not as good as the Chargers. I'm just going by what I see. I I see I see the same thing Bill Belichick saw when he played the Buffalo Bills. He can beat the Buffalo Bills. Mentally, he can beat the Buffalo Bills. That's what the Chargers will have to do. A lot of these teams are so talented, and I'm talking about really all of them. They're all talented, but the mental part, you have to have the mental part, you have to have the game plan, you have to have the right call at the right time. All these things have to go together. A little bit of luck. Everything has to go together. Okay? I believe in in destiny. I do believe in destiny. I think that you can build a toward a destiny. Now whether you win or lose at the very end, well, that's how the how the chips fall. But getting there, I think that the I see the Chargers getting there quite a few times. Um, but this whole attitude change, this whole difference that I've seen this last couple of months from the general manager, the head coach, the coaches, the players, on all their interviews. I mean, we only get to see a few minutes of them, and some of it is, they can put on their best, best face. But if you really look deep into what they've been doing in the past and what they're doing right now, you can see a difference, big difference. It's noticeable. It's a noticeable difference that is infectious in a good way. And that's what I wanted to bring about with this video. I kind of rambled on a little bit, but I wanted you guys to see something, maybe because I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. I haven't heard anybody talk about the difference that the general manager and the head coach are acting. And I don't mean it's an act, but I mean their personality, how the personality has actually relaxed. I've never seen that before with Telesco. Not this different. I've never seen. I don't know that much about Staley. Only what I've seen on 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 TV about him. But even his attitude has changed this year. It's gotten it's gotten more confident. He's gotten a lot more confident, and it's not a swagger to where we're overconfident. They're not. They don't feel like they're the elite. But I'll be honest with you, if this continues to go in the direction that it's going, unless something horrible happens, and knock on wood, I hope it don't. If everything keeps going in the direction it's going, they will be. They will be dominant. They will be elite. Um, and something that may go down in the history books. It's looking too good, and they're coming together. Everybody's like feeding off each other because hey, we've got we've got great defensive backs, we've got great safeties, we've got great linebackers, we've got great linemen, we've got a great quarterback, we've got a great running back. Keep going. Just keep going. We got great offensive linemen. We got really good tight ends. Not great, but really good. And maybe they are great. All they got to do is just be turned loose a little bit. So all I'm saying is when you look at this team, um, it, it's it's pretty amazing what they could turn out to be. And their attitude, this dedication that they're showing this year, not that they weren't dedicated, it's a confidence that they're showing in each other. Not a swag, not a overconfident type of thing. It's a steady, I know what I gotta do, I'm gonna go do it attitude. That's what I'm talking about. Something I haven't seen with the players. First of all, Herbert was too young. This he's actually got another year under his belt with the same coordinator, the same game plan. He's a lot more confident this year. A lot more confident. He even says it. When you've got that much, I guess it's more of a at ease with your abilities. You know what you can do. Now you just go out and do it. I mean, when you don't know what you can do, or you're having to make up for somebody else that maybe can't quite do what they're supposed to do, that puts an added pressure on your abilities to do what you need to do. That is not what I'm seeing this year. Totally not what I'm seeing this year. So I had to bring this up. It's just something that's really got to me. I've been watching the interviews from all the players and the team interviews and the owners and even the owner is acting a little different, just a little bit. Um, I've seen that. I mean, it's this wave of emotion of being confident and being reliably consistent is a wave that's coming over this team. It's infectious, the thing of it is, what really gets me is it's infectious to the crowd too. The fans are starting to line up to watch this team practice. I mean, come on, they're not even in pads, and they're getting a stadium full of people watching them practice. I mean, it's this emotion, this feeling, and it's more than just an emotion, and it's an actual um, attitude and a more relaxed way of doing things that I haven't seen before. And I just had to make a video about it. My next video, I'll get back on track. I'll get back on track with the players and stuff. We'll be wanting to see how these guys are going to shake out. But I had to mention this to you guys. I hope that if you watch this video, give me a comment on what you think. Let me know. Am I making more out of this than there is? I don't think so, because I really do see a difference. But if you don't, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. And I'm going to start making some videos on some players that look to me like we really got a gem, or maybe somebody that may not be playing for the Chargers much longer. So anyway, I'll until that time, I'll be getting back to you guys next week, um, probably Monday or Tuesday. And until then, you have a great weekend. Go Bolts, and give me a like and a sub. And you guys have a great weekend.